Alright folks, it's your boy Charles Barkley back with another video. Today we are opening up a Mortal Kombat X Turbo Box starter. So this is a 2-deck starter for 2 players to play with. It's a bit older, so it's a UFS product. It's 2 41 card decks and 2 random ultra rares from the Mortal Kombat set. Alright. So let's see what's in here in our currently standard legal product. Interesting that it opens like that. We got a Scorpion deck and a Sub-Zero deck. Then a box with a ton of paperwork and things. So we've got a list of keywords, what they do. A good old throwback playmat. Neat. Another one of the same thing. Oh. And it's a Sub-Zero. And Scorpion poster. Those are pretty neat, actually. Alright, and we got a rule book. Giving you all kinds of information. What zones are, what a card does, how to play, what symbols mean, all the keywords and abilities. Alright. Nice little rulebook insert. Very cool. Now we've got our Sub-Zero and Scorpion decks. So let's see what we got in them. Right. There we go. Right. So our extra rare card, the ultra rare, is a Blood Offering Totem. It's a 3 difficulty Earth Life Order card with a +0 high block. It's a 2 mid for 1 with Breaker 1, Charge, and Safe. After this card is discarded from your hand, due to your opponent's effect, gain 5 vitality. Super cool. That's just with how prevalent discard can be. That's just really nice. E from Momentum. Your attack with a printed damage of 3 or less gets +1 damage. Cool Moonfish. E, add this card to your Momentum face up during the end of phase. So it gets to go either way. That's a very cool card. Got Sub-Zero, who is a 6-hander, 28 health on Order, Void, and Water. He's got E, your stun attack gets +2 damage. If it is blocked, your opponent discards 1 card. Very good. And E, your attack, flip one foundation, seal one of your opponent's assets or foundations, and commit it. That's not too bad either. I think he'd be a lot of fun to try out. Then we've got Deep Freeze, 5 diff, 2 low block, 3 mid for 7, Fury, stun 2 weapon. E, discard 1 momentum, seal up to 3 of your opponent's foundations. This attack gets +1 to its stun rating. So if you have a momentum, you get to seal 3, stun 3. Jeez, that's pretty good. Looks like that's our one of, given that it's foil. Ice Clone, 4 diff, 3 mid for 4, +2 mid block. Ally, stun 1. After you block with this card, seal one of your opponent's foundations and commit it. Not bad. E, if your attack is blocked, seal one of your opponent's foundations and commit it. Just a lot of sealing, it looks like, and committing, which that's not bad. 3 copies of that. We got Icy Slide, 3 diff, 1 low for 1, with a +1 low block. It's a kick slam, stun 2. This attack gets +X damage. X equals the total printed stun rating on all cards in your card pool. Alright, with some of this stuff, that could really add up, because that's 1, 2, 3 off of just 2 cards, and you could easily have that be much higher. Just this and this is friggin' stun 4. So that's pretty neat. Got Ice Ball, 4 diff, 2 mid block, 3 mid for 3, range stun 1. If this attack is not blocked, seal your opponent's character and commit it. Well, that's very good. You're sitting there having to block a 3 mid for 3, knowing you're going to try to commit down their whole board. Got 2 of that. 3 Icy Slides. Icy Burst, 4 diff, 3 or +1 high block, 4 mid for 4, slam stun 2. E, destroy 1 face down foundation, add all copies of Ice Clone from your card pool to your momentum. Oh, that's neat. E, discard 1 momentum, seal one of your opponent's foundations. Alright, get more seal. 2 of that. Barrier of Frost, 4 diff, 2 mid block, 3 mid for 4 with stun 1. After you block an attack with this card, that attack does no damage. Very cool. Faith Shield effect to the basic degree with an Omni block. And E, if this attack is blocked, your opponent commits 1 of their foundations. So it's useful either way, but I think obviously you want to just save that for the block. 2 copies of that. Frost Hammer, 5 diff, +2 high block, 3 high for 5 with stun 1 and a weapon. If this attack gets +1 speed for each of your opponent's sealed foundations. So after a bunch of setup, this can be a payoff. And this attack gets +1 damage for each of your opponent's committed foundations. Alright, so this is just this is a very good example of like 1.3 million. Neat. I like that. 2 copies. Our other one of Resurrected Revenant. It's 3 diff, +2 low block, with a 4 control check, unique. E, commit, seal your character, add 1 foundation from your discard pile to your hand. So, on your back turn, you can pick up a block, which that could be not bad at all. Neat. Not necessarily, I think, anything super needed, but it's a cool concept. Destruction of the Cyberlin Quay. It's a 1 diff, 2 high block. E, destroy 1 face down foundation. This attack gets -2 speed and +2 damage. Alright, not bad. That can be useful. 4 copies. Freezing the City. 2 diff, 2 mid. E, your stun attack gets +1 damage. Absolutely wonderful for this deck. And E, seal this foundation. Your opponent seals 1 of their ready face-up foundations. Alright, so double payoff for your stuff. 4 copies of that. Quest for Vengeance. 0 diff, 3 low block, 4 control. Response card pool. If you block with this card, your opponent discards 1 card. Oh, that's really cool. I love that card. It's kind of a bad block, but That's a cool ability. 3 copies of that. Left to Die. 1 diff, no block. Response commit after your attack is not blocked. Add 1 of your face down foundations to your hand. Neat. E, discard 1 momentum. Ready this foundation. Playable while committed. Alright, so this is a really, really useful card fit in the MHA because that's 2 powerful cards that this does the effect of both of them. Love it. 3 copies. Lin Kuei Grandmaster. 2 diff. 2 high. 6 control. Once per turn, commit 1 sealed foundation in your opponent's staging area. And E, commit 1 foundation. Your stun attack gets +2 damage. Neither of those are bad. 3 copies of that. Cryomancer's Descendant. 2 diff. No block. Response remove after a stun attack deals damage. Both players discard 1 card. That's not bad. Not bad at all, considering how many more cards you're going to be sitting on in hand on your attack turn normally. And Sub-Zero R. Destroy after 1 of your opponent's foundations is flipped. Unflip 2 foundations. That could be crazy too, actually. That's really cool. 2 of those. Mutual Respect. 2 diff. 5 control. E, discard 1 momentum. Both players can only play 1 more enhance step. Oh, that's very cool. You win no block. Possessed by a Demon. It's a 2 diff, 2 mid block. With response, destroy 1 face down foundation. After you play a stun ability, both players lose 1 vitality. Well, that's not bad. E, commit. Your attack gets +2 damage. If your opponent has no ready foundations, the attack gets an additional +2 damage. And I got 2 of those. And then a third one of Retreated to Arctica. 2 diff, no block, unique. E, destroy. Before the damage step, if this attack has 3 or more keywords, reduce its damage to 0. Oh, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Just straight up zeroing an attack is very cool. Right, so Sub-Zero has a really cool stun package and a lot of interesting defensive hate. I really like this deck, and I would like to play it at some point. I might see about trying to convince someone to play it out with me, with this versus the Scorpion, and see how we enjoy them. Right. Now the other half, the Scorpion deck. Aha. I found a seam finally. Right. Ultra rare. Outworld Marketplace. It's a 2 diff, 2 high block, 4 control. E, once per turn, discard 1 card, draw 1 card. It's a terrain asset on Earth, Good, and Order. And response, discard 1 momentum. After attack is played, it loses all its printed keywords and gains throw. Playable by either player. This card seems horrible. Horrible. Probably not sees a lot of play. But that's an interesting concept. I don't think I'd want my opponent just to be able to throw on whatever they're playing. Alright. Neat. Scorpion himself is a 6 diff, or 6 hand size, 28 health, Death, Evil, Fire. With E, lose 2 vitality. If your attack is blocked, your opponent loses 2 vitality. Cool. E, lose 1 vitality. This attack gets ±2 speed. Cool. And Desperation E. Your Desperation attack gets +6 damage. That's a lot of damage. All right. So Desperation is under half health. So once you get to 14 and under, that enables this on. And it means you pay this control difficulty rather than that one if you are in Desperation. So it's a 6 diff, 2 high block, 3 high for 6. Charge Desperation 4, so it's only a 4 if you're in Desperation. EX 3 Fury. If this attack is not blocked, destroy one of your opponent's foundations, and they lose X vitality. X equals the printed control, the destroyed foundation. So you have to block this, otherwise you're losing quite a bit of stuff. Very cool. With the EX3, if you actually have momentum, that's going to be very hard to block anyway. Alright, we got Flame Port. 3 diff, 3 mid for 3, with a +3 mid block. Desperation 2, so, oh boy, that's cheap. Fury Kick. E, lose 1 vitality. This attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage. E, lose 1 vitality. This attack is blocked. Add it to your momentum after it resolves. That's super good. So you can make this a 4/4 to get yourself towards Desperation, and you can put it out of your card pool. That's very strong. 3 copies of that. Takedown. 4 diff, +1 low block, 2 low for 4. Desperation 3, Fury Kick. This attack is not blocked. Discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard an attack card. Add it to your hand. Alright, so this is a very similar to Ignited Arrow, and I absolutely love Ignited Arrow. Very cool. Got 3 copies of that. Got Doomblade, 5 diff, +0 mid block. Very cool. 4 mid for 5. With Desperation 4, Fury Weapon. Your next attack gets +X damage. X equals its printed Desperation rating. Well, that's very strong in itself. Dang. Between that and your ability to give Desperation attacks 6 damage, you're going to be throwing for about 1 billion damage each time once you get there. That's cool. 2 copies of that. Flame Aura, 5 diff, +1 high, 5 mid for 4. Desperation 4, Fury. When attempting to block with this card, reduce the speed of your opponent's attack to 0. Absolutely insane. Really cool. When this card is in your card pool, your opponent loses 1 vitality after a block is successfully played. That's good on offense or defense. You should throw that out as your first block, and then just block them to death. I love it. 2 copies. Get over here. 3 diff, 2 mid, block, 3 mid for 2. Charge Desperation 1, so the cheapest attack ever. Fury Weapon. E, change the zonus attack to high, so it's a mid or a high. E, lose 2 vitality. The next attack you attempt to play gets Desperation 0. That's... yeah, that's insane. Man, there's some crazy combo potential with that, I'm sure. I love that. Alright. We've got Minion Grab. 4 diff, no block. 3 low for 3. Ally Desperation 3. Fury Throw. E, lose 1 vitality. The attack is not blocked. Your next attack gets +2 damage and -2 to its Desperation rating, minimum 0. E, lose 2 vitality. This attack is blocked. Your opponent loses 2 vitality. So you're sitting here making them suffer. I dig it. And that's a throw, too. 2 diff, or 2 copies. We've got Last of the Shirai Ryu. 2 diff, 1 low block. Unique, 6 control. While this card is ready, your Desperation attacks get +1 damage. Absolutely insane for what this does. While this card is committed, your opponent's attacks get -1 damage. So even better. +1 on your turns, -1 on their turns. That is a very, very good card. Love it. Debt to be paid. 0 diff, +2 high block. E, flip. If you have lost vitality this turn, your opponent's next check to play a card gets -1, playable while committed. Not bad for spam at all. Not bad for spam at all. and Trusted Protector. 2 diff, no block, 4 control. E, this commit, this attack gets -2 damage. Yeah, it's pretty solid. And E flip, this attack gets -2 damage, playable while committed. So you can use one of these to take 4 damage off an attack in theory. That's really strong. I love it. I got 4 of those. Even better. Conquering his inner demon. 1 diff, 2 mid, 4 control again. After you discard this card due to your opponent's effect, destroy one of their foundations. Targeted destruction off this card is very, very good. If they're actually playing with any of it. Desperation E. Lose 1 vitality. Ready this foundation. Playable while committed. That also seems very good given how easy you can get into desperation. 3 copies of that. I imagine it's probably easy to string out with this out. Strict Mentor, 1 diff, 3 low. E, lose 1 vitality, the attack gets -1 speed, playable while committed. Not that great, other than the fact that you're attempting to race yourself down to desperation. But even then, the fact that it's playable while committed means you can at least get some value out of getting stunned out. Toasty, 2 diff, 2 high. E flip. This attack gets your attack gets X damage. X equals the printed desperation rating. Playable while committed. Yet another solid playable while committed. And given that a lot of your things have desperation 3 or 4, it's a lot of damage to add on. 3 copies. Blood for Blood. 2 diff, 2 mid. Response Destroy. After this card is committed due to your opponent's effect, they destroy one of their foundations, playable while committed. And E, lose 2 vitality. If your attack is blocked, your opponent loses 2 vitality. Yet more vitality attacks. I dig it. 2 copies. Hellspawn Spectre. 2 diff, no block. E, commit, lose 2 vitality, draw a card. Yeah, it's not a great value, but it's interesting. And E flip, your desperation or fury attack gets +2 damage. Not too bad. Don't think this would see play today. Get 2 copies of that. Then Thirst for Retribution. 2 diff, 2 mid. E flip, if your attack is blocked, your opponent loses 1 vitality. Your opponent may destroy 1 foundation to cancel this effect. Playable while committed. Yeah, that's, on the other hand, is still pretty cool. 2 copies of that. And then finally, my other one of Undying Rage. 3 diff, 1 mid block. Unique with a 6 control. E commit, if the top card of your discard pile has Desperation or Fury, add it to your hand. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Scorpion E, discard 1 momentum, gain 2 vitality. Playable while committed. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Ability to casually heal back on each attack if you don't give the momentum. But commit to add the top card of your discard pile to a hand if it's a Fury or Desperation. Means that you can just check an attack, put it in hand, or block with something. Or, yeah, check. You'll get something cleared out of your card pool, pick it right back up. Or spend a momentum, pick it back up. This is absolutely insane, and I'm very curious if this card was competitive, because that seems super cool. So all in all, I think these 2 decks are full of very cool competitive cards. I would really like to play them at some point and see what they have going on, because these definitely feel very synergistic and very much on point, on theme, and look like they'd be fun to play. Alright, so I might end up trying that out. I might come back and talk about that. But either way, this is another blast from the past from Jasco and Universus, formerly known as UFS, Universal Fighting System. Well, thank you very much. If you have anything else you want to see, let me know. Have a great night, folks.